Welcome to Gail's Kitchen. Today we're making cherry coffee cake. The first thing we want to do is get our pan ready by lining it with parchment paper and brushing it with some melted oil. I'm using a 10 by 10 square aluminum pan. Today we're going to use the reverse creaming method, which means we're going to add all of our dry ingredients as well as our sugar and then add our liquids. So let's get started. You need a large bowl. Add 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And we add 1 cup of granulated sugar. If you've never made a cake with the reverse creaming method, you're really going to like this. It not only saves time, but it creates a more tender crumb. We're going to add 8 tablespoons of butter, or 1 stick, and I've cut my butter into small cubes. And we're going to go ahead and mix this on low with a hand mixer. You can certainly use a stand mixer for this recipe. You're still going to have some large pieces of butter in here. By using this method, we're essentially coating our flour with butter, and that's preventing the gluten formation, and that's what yields a very tender crumb. We have a fairly sandy mixture here, and we still have some large pieces of butter. That's what we want. Now we're adding in our flavorings. You want to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Since we're making a cherry coffee cake, I want to add some almond extract. Now we're going to add 2 eggs. We're going to mix this until all the flour is wet. Our mixture has a little color from the vanilla, but there's still some butter. There's still some large pieces in there, and that's all right. Now we're adding 1 cup of sour cream. I'm going to mix the sour cream by hand. So we have a wet mixture now, and it's very thick. Now mix with your hand mixer on medium-low for 1 more minute. This is a very thick batter, sort of like a pancake batter. That's how it should look. Now we're going to assemble our coffee cake. We're going to put 1/2 of the batter into our pan. So spread that around in there the best you can. You need 1 21-ounce can of pie filling. I've put my pie filling in the blender and pureed it. Pureeing the cherry pie filling is definitely optional. It makes this step so much easier. So you can just pour that pureed pie filling right on the top. Move it around with a small spatula. And now we're going to put the remainder of our batter on top. And since this is a thick batter, what I've found is best is to treat this as if it's a drop biscuit cobbler and take by spatulafuls and lay this around. And if the cherry pie filling comes through, it's fine. Very gently move it around. So do the best you can. Spread this. So you're going to end up with your pan looking like this. Now that our coffee cake is assembled and in the pan, we're going to make a crumble for the top. You're going to use 1/2 cup of flour and 1/2 cup of sugar and 1/2 cup of chopped nuts. I'm using 1/2 cup of chopped sliced almonds because I've got the almond extract, and I just think that almonds and cherries go together like peas and carrots. We're adding 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, and you need 6 tablespoons of butter, room temperature or softened butter, and I've already cut mine up into small little cubes. Squeeze that butter through with your fingers. You want all the butter to be coated. And you see, this is going to be so good. Our coffee cake's going in a 325-degree oven on the center rack, and we'll be back. Look at that beautiful golden brown top. This cherry coffee cake is going to be divine. Our cake just came out of the oven and it cooked 48 minutes. With this coffee cake, you want to use the toothpick test in the very center. So we're gonna let this cool just a few minutes and then we'll slice into it.